He said, watch what I was doing a few months ago, and he's got momentum. Look, people throughout Florida are absolutely pissed. It's no different. Doge candidate Randy Fine and Josh Wheels got momentum.
There are fewer babies being born, so you have more people who are retired and that live for a long time and get retirement payments.
You know who's having a really bad week? Trump's campaign team in Florida. Their internal polls are showing a nightmare scenario playing out right before the election, with lifelong supporters flipping faster than pancakes at IHOP. Venezuelan immigrants who once worshipped Trump are now running away from him like he's got the plague. Turns out when you promise people safety then threaten to deport their family members, they don't send you thank you cards. Who could have possibly seen this coming? Oh right, everyone except Team MAGA. Hey, do us a favor, hit that subscribe button. We know you want to. Go ahead, we'll wait. Alright, appreciate it. Now back to the video. Remember when Trump was basically the Venezuelan community's hero in Florida? Oh, how quickly things change in politics. Not long ago, you couldn't drive through certain neighborhoods in Florida without seeing Trump flags waving proudly from Venezuelan-American homes. These folks saw him as their anti-socialism warrior, their beacon of hope against the very regime they had fled. They believed in him, they trusted him, they thought he had their backs. Then came what you might call the ultimate political backstab. Trump's administration yanked away temporary protected status from Venezuelan immigrants, and suddenly those same devoted supporters found themselves staring at a terrifying reality. Deportation back to the country they risked everything to escape.
The reverberations of Donald Trump and Elon Musk and Doge wrecking ball to the United States of America, and then you've got Elon Musk saying it's a Ponzi scheme. That's why we're going after it. It's a Ponzi scheme. In pissed off voters, we reported before what went down earlier this week, a political earthquake.
Talk about a political plot twist that nobody saw coming. One Venezuelan woman who once couldn't stop singing Trump's praises now can't even hear his name without breaking down. Let's call her C as the reports identify her. She didn't just vote for Trump, she campaigned for him, convinced her friends and family to support him too. Now, she's terrified that if Trump wins, her son could be taken away and deported. They're absolutely pissed. Community leaders report about the Venezuelan community's current mood toward Trump. Their champion against socialism is now the threat to their very presence in America. The funny thing, well, not funny haha, more like funny strange, is that Trump's team apparently thought these voters would just shrug and say no biggie when he pulled their legal status out from under them. What kind of political math is that? Let's take away people's right to stay in America safely, but they'll still vote for us. Talk about a massive brain fart in campaign strategy. Think about it. These people fled a socialist nightmare in Venezuela, finally found safety in America, and were told by Trump, "I've got your back against those bad socialists." Then suddenly the same guy is basically telling them, "Psych, back to Venezuela you go." It's like offering someone shelter from a hurricane and then pushing them back outside when the eye of the storm passes. What's really gobsmacking is that local community leaders are reporting whole Venezuelan neighborhoods flipping faster than pancakes at an IHOP.
In Pennsylvania, Lancaster County, which didn't go Democrat since 1889, attacking Social Security, Medicaid, attacking veterans in Florida and else, started showing Donald Trump all of this data, both what's going on in New York, Pennsylvania, and of course what's going on in Florida.
Areas that were solid Trump territory just months ago are now Harris country. Early voting numbers are showing a dramatic shift that has Republican strategists pulling their hair out and downing antacids by the handful. The numbers are apparently so bad that Trump's pollster, let's call him Fabio because that's a fun name for a pollster, had to present emergency data showing Florida support crumbling faster than a sandcastle at high tide. Imagine that awkward meeting. "Hey boss, remember all those Venezuelans you thought would vote for you no matter what? Yeah, about that." How exactly do you go from hero to zero so quickly? It's actually pretty simple. You promise protection to people fleeing danger, then threaten to send them right back into the lion's den. It's like telling someone you'll save them from drowning, then pushing their head underwater. Not exactly a winning strategy for building voter loyalty. The irony here is thicker than Florida's humidity.
Where Fabrizio, again, Trump's pollster, In the 6th congressional district in Florida, Social Security shutting down Social Security Administration offices throughout the country has the Democratic candidate Josh Wheel up by anywhere between 3, 4, or even more.
Trump positioned himself as the anti-socialist warrior that Venezuelan immigrants could count on. His tough talk against the Venezuelan government had them cheering. But talk is cheap when your policies do the exact opposite of your promises. These voters didn't just want someone to badmouth the regime they fled. They needed someone who would protect their ability to stay safely in America. And on that front, Trump pulled the rug out from under them. This stunning reversal is having ripple effects even in places like Florida's 6th district, traditionally considered MAGA country. Democratic candidate Josh Wheel is suddenly surging in polls as Venezuelan voters abandon Trump in what was supposed to be a Republican stronghold. It's like watching a political earthquake. Areas that were solid red are suddenly showing patches of blue, all because Trump miscalculated the loyalty of a community he betrayed. The thing about immigrant communities, they tend to talk to each other. When one Venezuelan family realized their protected status was in jeopardy, you better believe that news spread through the community faster than gossip at a family reunion. What began as individual shock quickly transformed into collective action, with community leaders organizing voters to channel their sense of betrayal into votes for the opposition. Just as community whispers spread through Venezuelan neighborhoods, a different kind of panic is sweeping through Florida's sprawling retirement villages. And this time, Trump's buddy with the deepest pockets in the world just dropped a retirement bomb that's making Florida seniors reach for their blood pressure medication. While seniors were once Trump's most reliable Florida supporters, Elon Musk, the richest man who somehow still finds time to tweet between rocket launches.
Well, I mean, the government's one big pyramid scheme, if you ask me.
Yeah, well, you can tell me better than anybody.
Social Security is the biggest Ponzi scheme of all time. So when you look at the future obligations of Social Security, the actual national debt is like double. Well, people pay into Social Security, and the money goes out of Social Security immediately.
Just called their monthly livelihood a Ponzi scheme. Yes, you heard that right. The same Social Security checks that millions of Florida retirees depend on to survive were just dismissed as a financial scam by Trump's new billionaire bestie, while the former president nodded along like one of those dashboard bobbleheads. Talk about reading the room wrong. In Florida, home to more than 4 million residents over 65, attacking Social Security is about as smart as suggesting we cancel bingo night or raise the price of coffee at the early bird special. These aren't just casual remarks that seniors can brush off. For people living on fixed incomes already stretched thin by Florida's skyrocketing housing costs and inflation, hearing Social Security described as unsustainable sends pure terror through retirement communities faster than news of a shuffleboard tournament cancellation. The Villages, that massive Florida retirement paradise where golf carts outnumber regular vehicles, is buzzing with anxiety. Conversations at community pools and morning walks have shifted from grandkids and golf scores to genuine fear about what might happen to their monthly checks. As one 72-year-old former Trump voter from the Villages plainly put it, "I worked 45 years for my Social Security. Now they're calling it a scam? That's my lifeline." That quote isn't just a dramatic soundbite, it's the reality for millions of Florida seniors who budgeted their entire retirement around those guaranteed monthly payments. When you've spent nearly half a century contributing to a system you were promised would support you, hearing it dismissed by a billionaire who probably spends more on haircuts than most retirees get in a month doesn't exactly inspire confidence. Trump's team scrambled faster than seniors at an all-you-can-eat buffet to walk back Musk's comments.
So you're paying with you're paying like if you look at the future obligations of Social Security, but the obligation for Social Security is your entire retirement career. It far exceeds the tax revenue. Far. Have you ever looked at the debt clock?
But the damage control arrived too late. The Harris campaign, spotting political gold, flooded retirement communities with targeted ads featuring the Ponzi scheme comments, digital billboards, Facebook ads specifically targeting seniors, even pamphlets left at community centers, all highlighting the moment Musk questioned Social Security while Trump stood by. Making matters worse, someone on Harris's team apparently has a talent for opposition research, because videos soon surfaced showing Trump himself questioning Social Security's future viability in past speeches. Suddenly, those reassurances from Republican surrogates about protecting seniors rang hollow when played alongside clips of their own candidates suggesting the program might need adjustments. Political speak for cuts that send shivers down retirees' spines. The political impact has been swift and devastating. Recent polling shows seniors in Florida shifting to Harris by a shocking 8 points in just 2 weeks, a seismic movement in electoral terms. Trump's once solid grip on the senior vote is slipping away faster than Florida retirement funds during the housing crisis, when a voting bloc representing nearly a quarter of Florida's electorate starts showing that kind of movement. Campaign managers reach for the panic button. What makes this particularly brutal for Trump is the timing. Early voting locations near retirement communities are reporting record turnout, with poll workers describing lines of seniors openly discussing their decision to switch their votes. One early voting site manager near Sun City Center noted that turnout was up 22% compared to 2020, with many seniors bringing printouts of Musk's comments as if they needed a reminder of why they were changing their vote. The economic context makes these concerns even more potent. Florida's insurance crisis has already strained many fixed-income households beyond their breaking point. When monthly premiums have doubled or tripled in recent years, that Social Security check isn't just nice to have. It's the difference between keeping your home or not. Add in the general inflation affecting groceries and medications, and you have a population uniquely vulnerable to any suggestion their benefits might be at risk. Trump's campaign has tried to pivot, scheduling last-minute senior-focused events and flooding mailboxes with flyers promising to protect and strengthen Social Security. But as one political analyst put it, when seniors think you're coming for their retirement money, no amount of free donuts at a campaign rally will fix that. The irony is palpable.
Vacant seat right now, you have the Democratic candidate Josh Weil running against a MAGA Republican in the 6th, and people are pissed for a lot of different reasons. I mean, you've got Trump supporters who may be Cuban or Venezuelan.
So basically, people are living way longer than expected.
Trump's strength in Florida was built partly on his promise to be the champion of the forgotten Americans, including seniors worried about their financial security. Now, with one offhand comment from his billionaire supporter that he failed to immediately correct, he's managed to create genuine panic among the very voters who once saw him as their protector. Option 3 captured perfectly what we need, but let me expand on it with fresh details. The very voters Trump once claimed to protect are now protecting themselves from him. But beyond the retirement communities, another shocking Florida story is unfolding in a place nobody expected. Florida's 6th congressional district, once considered such reliably red territory that Republican campaign managers would take coffee breaks during strategy sessions about it, has suddenly become ground zero for what might be the biggest political upset this election cycle. How red was this district? Well, picture a tomato that's been sitting in the sun for a week. That red. Republican candidates in the 6th district typically won by double-digit margins without breaking a sweat. It was the kind of place where Democratic candidates struggled to get restaurant reservations, let alone votes. But something weird is happening in the 6th. The district's demographics created what political analysts are calling the perfect political storm. Substantial communities of Venezuelan immigrants mixed with large pockets of retirees. It's like someone gathered all the people most upset with Trump and put them in one convenient voting district. We're hemorrhaging support in areas we've never had to worry about before. One county chair reportedly told staffers in a panic-filled meeting last week. The Republican machine, which typically runs like a well-oiled golf cart in Florida, is now sputtering and wheezing its way toward election day. Enter Josh Weil, the Democratic candidate who nobody gave a snowball's chance in Miami just a few months ago. Weil didn't get the memo that he was supposed to lose by 15 points, and instead started gaining serious momentum with his refreshingly simple campaign message: "I'll protect your family and your future." Unlike his Republican opponent, Randy Fine, who spent most of his campaign praising Trump and attacking Weil, the Democrat has focused laser-like on the anxieties keeping voters up at night. While Fine posts selfies with Trump, Weil talks about protecting Social Security, Medicare, and the VA. You know, the systems people in the district actually depend on to survive. The shift has been so dramatic that Trump's campaign scrambled to react in a move that screams, "We're totally not panicking." They withdrew Elise Stefanik's nomination in a New York district district and hastily organized a last-minute rally in the 6th. Nothing says everything's fine like abandoning your strategy and frantically rerouting resources to a district you were supposed to win in your sleep. The early voting numbers tell the story. In Valia County, the largest in the district, something happened that election officials haven't seen in 3 decades. More Democrats showed up to vote early than Republicans. That's like seeing penguins in the Everglades. It just doesn't happen naturally. Election officials report unprecedented numbers of first-time voters appearing at polling stations, along with folks openly discussing their party switches. One poll worker described the scene. "I've worked elections here for 22 years, and I've never seen anything like this. People are coming in wearing the same MAGA hats they wore in 2020, but they're voting differently." Wheel's internal polling, originally dismissed by Republican strategists as fantasy, now shows him leading fine, a political reality shift that would have been unimaginable just weeks ago. The district that was supposed to be as reliably read as a stop sign is now giving Republicans a serious case of political indigestion. It's not hard to understand why. When you combine seniors worried about their social security checks with immigrants terrified about their futures in America, you've created a voting bloc unified by one powerful emotion: betrayal. These voters didn't just randomly decide to switch parties. They feel personally let down by a president who promised to protect them, then turned his back when it mattered most. The Trump campaign's response to this crisis has been predictably chaotic. They've flooded the zone with conflicting messages, reassuring seniors that Social Security is safe.
He said, watch what I was doing a few months ago, and he's got momentum. Look, people throughout Florida are absolutely pissed. It's no different. Doge candidate Randy Fine and Josh Wheel's got momentum.
There are fewer babies being born, so you have more people who are retired and get that live for a long time and get retirement payments,
while simultaneously failing to distance themselves from Musk's Ponzi scheme comments, promising fair immigration policies while their previous actions tell a very different story. Fine's campaign, meanwhile, seems committed to a strategy of pretending nothing's wrong. His latest campaign mailer doesn't mention Social Security or immigration at all, instead featuring a large photo of Fine with Trump and the slogan, "Keeping America Great." For voters worried about deportation or their retirement checks, this might as well be an advertisement for the other guy. So here we are, folks, watching Trump's Florida fantasy crumble faster than a sandcastle at high tide. The greatest plot twist, he did it to himself. Those Venezuelan communities that once adored him are now organizing against him after his policies threw their lives into chaos. It's the political equivalent of setting your own house on fire while you're still inside. Trump betrayed not just immigrants, but attacked Social Security too, angering the very voters who once trusted him. His own words and policies created this spectacular self-sabotage. Florida was supposed to be Trump's political safety blanket, but now it might just be where voters finally say, "You're fired."